Here at Noah's Ark, we like to provide our rescued animals with as large of an enclosure as we can. And you can see right now that Anna Lou and Angus are all the way in the very tippy top of their enclosure. So it just gives you a little bit of the sense of scale. And it's really important to have nice enclosures like this with different things for the animals to do, because in captivity, this is all that they have, this enclosure. They don't have the option to roam hundreds of miles. This is it. So it's really our job to keep them as happy and healthy as possible. Obviously, the larger the enclosure, the more it costs to build it. And for Anna Lou and Angus, the grizzly and black bear pair that we rescued about 1.5 years ago, they have a couple of special things that we've had to do to their enclosure to make it what we call bear proof. One of those things is you can see that there is tin that's wrapped around all of the trees. And what this does is it makes the bears unable to climb really high in the trees. They can still climb a little bit, but once they get to the tin, they will slip off. We like to allow them to stretch and to exhibit natural behavior such as climbing, but we don't want for them to escape or climb up high and then not be able to get down or possibly fall and injure themselves. Another thing that we have that's unique to the bear habitat is they have to have part of their enclosure with a concrete bottom, because grizzly bears are unbelievable at digging. Even though we still have 7 strands of hot wire in this enclosure, Anna Lou, the grizzly bear, has figured out how to lay on her belly and still scratch right at the edge of her enclosure without getting shocked by the hot wire. And so you can see all of the damage that she's done while we've been waiting for this part of her enclosure to dry. So this will be a totally safe area for her. And then we're going to go around the perimeter of her enclosure and also sink that wire fencing into concrete. So hopefully this will be grizzly bear proof now. As far as furniture goes, a lot of permanent structures are in place so that Anna Lou and Angus have a really nice environment. They have a fire hose hammock that one of our wonderful volunteers made. It's constructed all of donated old fire hose, and it's pretty indestructible, so the bears love to lounge in there and kind of play with each other. They also have a multi-level deck, which not only gives them a high vantage point, it also has a den integrated into it. It provides lots of shade, lots of playing options. They also have a really nice natural slope to their enclosure, and what that does, instead of them always living on flat ground, that lets them use certain muscles that they wouldn't be using if they just lived in a sterile, flat environment. So they're always going up and down the hill. And then they also have a natural creek running through their enclosure. And the bears absolutely love it. They like swimming in it and playing in it, and they're always digging up little bugs in the creek. They also have different hard plastic toys that are virtually indestructible that we either leave in here or we can shift them around through different enclosures so that they have novel scents on them. And they also have certain enrichment devices that are permanently in the enclosure. I don't know if you can see it, but they have different logs that are hanging from trees with holes drilled in them. What we'll do with these logs is we'll put peanut butter or almonds or maybe some produce and really wedge it into those holes so that the bears have to use their claws and their nose to work to get their food out.